Number 5, 1999, also known as Mr. Bear.
Simply known as 1999, this story is one of the most realistic and chilling urban legends on the internet. The tale follows the journey of a Canadian blogger named Elliot, as he tracks down the meaning of a mysterious TV channel that he watched in the year 1999. He remembered it being extremely sketchy and, in hindsight, he realized that it was most likely run by a local predator. As he continued to investigate, he learned that the man running the channel was attempting to lure children into his house for sacrificial purposes. To top it all off, Elliot also realized that the crazed man was torturing and killing children while wearing a bear costume and calling himself Mr. Bear. In fact, during an episode entitled Playing with Scissors, Booby appeared to be holding a pair of scissors while another, smaller hand was jerking violently in the background, as if it were being forcefully held in the air. Booby then proceeded to repeatedly stab the smaller hand with the scissors while a muffled child's scream could be heard. The scissors eventually got to the bone and made a horrific crunching sound. That was the last time Elliot ever watched an episode of Booby. Next up on the psychotic schedule was Mr. Bear's Cellar, which featured the mentally unstable man dressed up as Mr. Bear. What actually went on during the Mr. Bear episodes are too gory to describe here, so you'd have to read the rest of it for yourself. Eventually, the police intervened and shut down the sadistic TV channel for good. Number 4, The Rake. In 2003, in the Northeast United States, there was an incident involving a strange, human-like creature which attracted a lot of attention from local media. After the story initially broke, most online and written documents were mysteriously destroyed. Although these accounts were gone, sightings of the creature continued to become even more frequent. What's odd is that many people reacted differently to the creature. In fact, the emotions experienced ranged from traumatic levels of fright to an almost childlike sense of curiosity. The sightings continued, and so the hunt for more information began. Finally, in 2006, a collaboration of various researchers made a chilling discovery. They had unearthed nearly 24 documents dating from the 12th century to the present day, all of them describing various sightings of a creature called the Rake. The sighting that stood out the most was a woman's account that dated from the same year of the discovery. A woman awoke in the middle of the night and accidentally ended up waking her husband as well. She apologized and her husband turned around to look at her. He gasped and immediately grabbed his wife, fearing for her safety. At the foot of their bed, sitting and facing away from them, was the infamous creature which was described as looking like a big, hairless dog. While the couple's eyes were still adjusting to the dark, the creature sprang up and crouched less than a foot from the husband's face. It stared at him for a while, then made a dash for their children's bedrooms. The terrified couple immediately ran after it, fearing the worst for their children, but they were too late. They ran straight to their daughter's room, only to find her mutilated and close to death. As their daughter was dying, her final words were, "He is the Rake." Then, as mysteriously as it had appeared, the Rake disappeared, never to be seen again. Number 3, The Angel Statue. This story begins with a couple who decided that they wanted to go out for the night, so they called up their usual babysitter to take care of the kids. When the babysitter arrived, the children were already asleep, so she decided that she would pass the time by watching some TV. However, the only TV in the house that had cable was situated inside the parents' bedroom, so she called them to see if it was cool with them. The parents agreed, but then the babysitter asked if she could cover up the angel statue, which was situated in the room, as it made her feel nervous. Upon hearing this, the father hesitated, then instructed her to immediately get the kids out of the house and call the police because they did not own an angel statue. When the police arrived, the babysitter and children were found lifeless in a pool of blood, and the statue had disappeared. Number 2, The Grifter. The Grifter is a horrific internet urban legend, which was first posted in 2009. It's about a video clip, which apparently is so disturbing that it traumatizes everyone who watches it. Apparently, the video clip featured scenes of dying children, excruciating screams, and close-ups of exorcisms and corpses. Although something like The Grifter would indeed be horrifying to watch, thankfully it's entirely a work of fiction. The person who started the legend admitted in 2009 that the so-called screenshots of the video were actually taken from the movie Little Odick. Although most people now know that it's a hoax, it's still a terrifying story to tell around a campfire. And at last, number 1, Jeff the Killer. Jeff was a little boy who moved to a new home. The day he moved in, he was invited to a neighbor's birthday party, so he decided to take his brother Lou along with him. When Jeff and his brother were waiting at a bus stop, 3 teenagers attacked them. Jeff successfully defeated his attackers and left them on the street with broken wrists and knife wounds. After this ordeal, Jeff soon realized that he actually enjoyed inflicting pain on others. It was always a feeling he had had inside him, but it only seemed to get stronger when he was provoked or angered. On a night soon after that, Jeff's mother was awakened by someone crying in the bathroom. When she entered the room, she found Jeff carving a permanent smile into his cheeks. He had also managed to cut out his eyelids, so that he could never sleep. Seeing that her son had gone insane, his mother ran from the room to wake up her husband. She stopped cold when she saw Jeff standing in the doorway, a knife clutched in his hand. "Mommy, you lied," was the last thing they ever heard. With his parents now dead, all that remained was his brother. Lou had woken up when he heard muffled sounds from his parents' bedroom. When he didn't hear anything else, he tried to go back to sleep, but couldn't shake the feeling that someone was watching him. Before he could do anything, a hand clamped down over his mouth and he felt a warm blade plunge into his stomach. Lou tried to escape his brother's grip, but it was already too late. Jeff said, "Just go to sleep." Jeff was never seen again, but legend has it that Jeff is still out there, waiting. These are the top 5 creepypasta characters. Hope you guys are enjoying.